Hello everybody. Wow, what a treat I've got for you today, and I mean a really incredible treat. I think you kind of guess what they are and what their purpose was, etc., etc. But feel free to stay and let me sort of like enlighten you on this amazing opportunity about these schools air raid shelters in Colchester. Come on. Well, welcome back everybody. Thank you so much for staying along with me. Promise you this is going to be a really interesting one. We're at Hamilton Primary School today in the heart of Colchester, and I just want to say a massive thanks to the school and Nick especially for allowing me access to do this today. So I want to crack on straight away with the history of this. The primary school's got an amazing rich history which could be covered in any number of videos in time. But today we're really concentrating on these incredible air raid shelters, which have never really been filmed for YouTube before, so I'm kind of honoured that we get an opportunity to properly do this. I apologise for the loud noises as well that have been going on, lots of building work, etc., etc. has been taking place at the moment, so I've been given exclusive access and opportunity to sort of cover it. So what we're looking at, well, we're looking at basically a sort of civil air raid shelter design, which what we probably mostly refer to as. The idea is that the rectangular buildings, brick built, concrete base, brick walls, and then a concrete cap on the top, and then you've got these beautiful little air duct vents. They're here, these little, basically just they take out some bricks and obviously grate them over. And simple design in terms of the fact that it's one in, one entrance, and then you've got an escape hatch at the back, or an escape, we sort of use it as an escape hatch really, which is like a little sort of portal really at the other end of the shelter. What I suppose though makes this interesting in the fact of design wise is that they're sort of semi-sunken, and normally in civil air raid shelters, normally not all the time, just want to clarify that, they're not normally semi-sunken. So basically you're talking about a third of the height as being sort of is underground, let's just sort of say, or below ground level. And that's why you could sort of see that there was steps obviously entering in. In this one, for example, the electrics obviously still work because this one's being used for storage. The one that we're going to go into afterwards, we're going to need torches because there's no light in there. It's literally used as just like basically just nothing's in there. It's like a dummy one. It's practically in amazing condition. Although I've been told by Nick that actually the PE one's probably the best one because it's the one that's been kept the best, if that makes sense. But we won't be accessing that one today for obvious reasons. There's a lot of storage stuff in there, even one here. But what a beautiful opportunity to sort of do this. As you can probably imagine as well, as you walk down the steps, obviously the toilet will probably be by the steps. We normally find that. It's hard to tell on these ones in terms of that. But the interesting part for me really is the historical side of it, really, because you'd automatically assume that it would be just used for the primary school, but in fact, actually, it's not. So the story goes that at the beginning of the war in September 1939, the school had accepted 50 evacuees from London, and the authorities removed the school railings to be used for building tanks, and then the air raid shelters were built in the school grounds. So fascinating to know that not only was it used for primary school, but it was also used for evacuees from London. We're not too far away from London, but far enough that obviously they could facilitate these evacuees really. And like I said, we're in the heart of Colchester, and the school is absolutely beautiful. It's a bigger than you think, the school, basically, when you sort of on arrival. And it's remarkable how it would have taken. Now, the idea is that really with these shelters, is normally in schools, once again, normally, not always the case, that you would be, as a child, be designated your sort of shelter. So they'd sort of be labelled. So basically you go into this one and this is the one you get taken into. And the idea is that it would stop sort of confusion, to sort of, so there wouldn't be a scramble, like, no, we've got to go to this one. And this one you sort of get designated into, normally by class, etc., etc., or classroom, should I just sort of say. But yeah, beautiful condition when you enter, and I'm honestly so privileged and so lucky to have this opportunity to do this, and obviously to give you that wonderful history. Like I said, the school actually has got a lot of history, as you can imagine anyway, being in the heart of Colchester. as most places in Colchester probably have. But remarkable, what an opportunity to do this. So, without further ado, I think we should then go. We're going to have a look at the outside of the PE one, but more importantly, I'm going to take you to the really exciting one for me, which is the one that is empty. It's basically abandoned by all intents and purposes. So let's go take a look at that. Come on. Come on. Okay, so we're now in the playground proper. We're looking at the other one, which is probably in the bestest condition I've been told by Nick, but is used for PE storage. I just thought I'd sort of show you the outside because obviously they're exactly the same sort of layout, and this is what I sort of meant by them sort of being semi-sunken. So the idea is it's about, I'd say about a third, maybe a quarter of the way, maybe sort of just underground. Normally, like I said, you'd sort of see them; they'd be completely overground, if that makes sense. But the design is pretty much fairly standard, but still very interesting and very cool at the same time. Like I said, so that's our entrance point, and then like I said, as we walk around the back here, that's our escape there. So we want to take a. We've actually just been really lucky that we've just managed to open up this one as well. So this would equal the fifth one, not four actually. We just sort of realised that there's one that was actually hidden, believe it or not. So this one's the hidden one. So originally it would have been five. So like I said, one got demolished due to an extension. So that would have mirrored, and then you've got this one, which is at the sort of far end. I'll sort of show you that in context in a minute. And again, I apologise for the noise. Obviously, the men are busy working today. So we're in the sort of fifth one. And the fifth one's interesting because on the opposite side of this wall is really where the kiln is, and where basically the sort of like the main sort of like utilities room is, I suppose you could sort of argue opposite. And then as we come into here, obviously you can see this one hasn't been used. In fact, actually, Nick just mentioned to me as we were sort of chatting that he's going to clean this one up at some point. What you'll notice is that on this one, the vent bricks are only on one side, and I said that's because on this opposite side of the wall, it literally mirrors the idea that it's that there's another wall internal on that one. Let me just shuffle through here. So lots of paintings. So again, what we're looking at here is an escape hatch, and again, there's no sign or evidence of benches formerly being in here at all. So we assume that the school would have either provided them, etc., for that. And it's wonderful how nature has sort of like slowly reclaimed this one. I've got to be a little bit careful because there's lots of like paint cans and everything else. Weird actually. We were sort of talking, and then they didn't. Nick politely didn't know. He was like, "Oh, actually, look, this kind of looks like one as well." And we sort of, I was like, "I know what that is. It just is one." So we sort of discovered the fifth shelter, which is bizarre sort of thing, but amazing in that circumstance. And it's quite nice actually for me on this video to sort of be a little bit humble and sort of say, actually, no, it's kind of cool. So I'm just going to show you a little round a little bit, and then we need to go to the final one. So let's do it. Hello everybody, welcome back to the final shelter that we're allowed access in, like I said, you know, all around this site. Incredible. So this one is basically, I'll show you in a minute, this one is basically untouched really for general purposes. And it's not really been used so much. But the condition is pretty much as original can get, really. Obviously there's a lot of garden pots there, but what's really cool about this one is we can get quite far to the back. So the fact that this hasn't been used by the school is remarkable, but the fact that this served a really important purpose during World War II when those sirens were ringing, and obviously the fact they had to literally get in here as quickly as possible. Now, it's more than likely on these that there would have been benches on either side as well, as was typical. And like I said, the design layout is pretty much as you would expect it to sort of be. And that's pretty much it, everybody. There's no obvious sign of the benches being here, but it's a school. They could have just taken them from the school themselves and just placed them in there. They didn't have to be necessarily what I refer to as sort of fixed. But yeah, that's pretty much it, everybody. And these little vents, like I said, they're here. Very, very cool. And then yeah, we assume, like I said, that the toilets would have probably been in that little alcove, maybe. I don't always, like I said, it's an interesting sort of thing to sort of see that normally, like I said, if we ever saw the toilets, they'd normally be right by the sort of entrance. And there is a little sort of like part there, like a little, like, you know, little alcove bit. So it's quite possible that would have been the case. And obviously the fact that, interesting enough, on all of these, there is like a little sort of open brick section there as well. So more than likely there would have been like some maybe chemical toilet, etc., etc. But yeah, that's it, everyone. The amazing Hamilton School air raid shelters in the heart of Colchester. How cool. Very, very spoilt today with this. Really, really spoilt. And obviously timing and everything to come into this. And I can safely say now that, wow, what an opportunity I've been given to sort of document these as best as possible. Like I said, they are air raid shelters. Some of you might not find them as exciting as what I do because they're pretty much empty now. They're not in sort of like a, you know, they've seen long past their former use and glory. But the fact they still remain here on this school site is amazing. Now, we have covered a lot of these. I've definitely covered a lot, not filmed as many, but there are definitely ones on the channel where I've filmed secondary schools and primary schools, air raid shelters. Like I said, and if you check out the playlist for air raid shelters down below, you'll get a full scope of the different shapes and sizes that you'd have. Even though, like I said, on a strange one, this is actually relatively standard for its type. But yeah, love it. This is pretty cool as well. They just posted like this Egyptian sort of like ancient history sort of stuff down here. Very cool. Very, very cool. But yeah, there you go, everybody. Hamilton Primary, Colchester's school air raid shelters. Thank you so much for coming along with me. In the immortal words of Phoenix history, because history matters, and I can safely say it does. I just want to say also a huge thanks to the school for allowing me access to this. What an amazing opportunity I've had. And also to Nick as well, and his dog, wonderful. Lots of balls. They were cleaning all the balls from the roos and stuff, and bless the dog, it got very excited, as you would do for a dog, seeing all these different like shaped balls and everything else coming out. It's amazing, isn't it? Brilliant. I just want to say, yeah, massive thanks to Nick, what a really kind bloke, for allowing me access to all these, and especially the school as well, particularly. Feel free to spread the word of the channel. Much love to all of you out there. Take care, everybody, and of course I will see you all very soon. Remember, if it wasn't for you guys spreading the word of the channel and liking the videos, I wouldn't be half as sort of invested in doing this to really show you the secretive stuff, the stuff that never normally gets filmed. So it's because of you out there giving me that positive vibes and that encouragement to keep doing what I'm doing. I'm so grateful for all of you out there for doing that. So thank you so much. And every like and every person who shares this channel and these videos really means a genuine, heartfelt thanks. So yeah, thank you. Anyway, take care, everybody. Much love to all of you out there. Ready? See you all very soon. Cup out.